Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And today, a beautiful day with temperatures at or just slightly above normal for this time of year. Look at that beautiful shot. It's up around the Waterville Plateau in the Waterville area. You can see the wheat blowing in the wind up that way. A little bit more wind up in the Okanagan Highlands, and as you can see there in the Waterville Plateau this afternoon with a few mid and high level clouds out there. But the bottom line is nice warm temperatures. But things could change beginning tonight and into Tuesday. We do have thunderstorms back in our forecast as we move into tonight. There is a chance for it tonight and then once again tomorrow. You can see we're in the dark green area, and that means we could see heavy rain, maybe even some slow-moving thunderstorms. That will be in our overnight hours tonight into tomorrow morning and then during Tuesday morning. The areas in light green, not as much of a chance, but we are in the dark green as well as OMAC to our north. Much more weather for you coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. For the second time this year, there were serious injuries when jet skis collided on Moses Lake. Idaho-based Coleman Oil has agreed to a settlement over its 2017 spill of 3,800 gallons of biodiesel into the Columbia River from its Wenatchee plant. And in others news, a 24-year-old man has been accused of firing several shots during a fight in Davenport on Sunday. But first, we begin tonight. A Wenatchee man is dead after crashing his motorcycle Saturday afternoon near Plain. Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett reports 77-year-old Charles Ivan Bowman was killed around 2:30 in the afternoon. The sheriff says in a news release that Bowman had been riding with his son and two other relatives when the collision occurred. He says Bowman failed to properly negotiate a curve on the Chihuahua Loop Road. That's just prior to the intersection with Beaver Valley Road. The motorcycle traveled off the right shoulder of the roadway, colliding with trees. Bowman died at the scene after emergency crews performed CPR on him for 45 minutes. The sheriff says Bowman and the other three riders in his group were not taking part in the Touratech motorcycle event being held in Plain at the same time. The collision is still under investigation by the sheriff's office. Well, for the second time this year, there were serious injuries when jet skis collided on Moses Lake. Brent Behrens of Bellingham was taken to a Spokane hospital Saturday after his jet ski crashed into a personal watercraft being ridden by a vacation companion. The other jet skier was not injured. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said Behrens is suspected of boating while intoxicated. In May, 27-year-old Andra Ann Rice was killed in a jet ski collision with a relative on the lake near Blue Heron Park. Well, Idaho-based Coleman Oil has agreed to a settlement over its 2017 spill of 3,800 gallons of biodiesel into the Columbia River from its Wenatchee plant. Originally fined $189,000 by the State Department of Ecology, Coleman will have its fine reduced to $170,000, paying $65,000 for habitat restoration efforts. In addition, the company must complete facility upgrades to its Pateros and Dayton plants. An investigation found the fuel had leaked for more than 3 months from a corroded underground pipe. A 24-year-old man has been accused of firing several shots during a fight involving several people. That was outside a Bridgeport bar early Sunday morning. Aiden Torres Gomez was arrested in his Bridgeport home after Douglas County Sheriff's deputies responded to the fight and gunshots outside the El Paraiso restaurant and bar. Nobody was injured by the gunshots, but some of the people involved in that fight had to be treated for minor injuries. Coming up next, Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife Regional Director Jim Brown is praising the collaborative efforts of the Public-Private Stemilt Partnership and its work in the Stephens Meadow area of the Stemilt Basin. Chelan County's agriculture industry appears to be embracing a new state-sanctioned program that provides an alternative approach to protecting the environment. And it appears last week's rain and winds caused only minor damage to our area's cherry crop. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Are Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Moving doesn't have to be back-breaking, stressful work. And I don't want you to make a move that way ever again.
Traditionally, you would rent a truck. You would load up your stuff. You would rent a storage unit. You would transport it. And finally, you would unload your stuff yourself. You don't have to lift a finger. We bring the mobile storage unit to you, we drop it off, then one of our trusted packers can load it for you. We come pick it up and store it securely for you. We bring it back to you. No hassle, no stress.
Welcome back. In another news, Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife Director Kelly Suswind and Regional Director Jim Brown are praising the collaborative efforts of the Public-Private Stemilt Partnership and its work in the Stephens Meadow area of the Stemilt Basin. They say the project is helping to achieve landscape-scale forest health through the efforts of local, state, and federal land managers. WDFW Regional Director Jim Brown comments on the project's success following a recent visit to Chelan County.
So we're in the Stemilt Basin today, interlocking land ownership with DNR and Chelan County and DFW. There's a lot of good work that's going on here and a lot of partnerships. We're part of the Stemilt Partnership, which is a local community-based collaborative of various interests, from irrigation groups to sportsman groups to private citizens that have an interest in protecting this area, but yet keeping it open for recreation while providing for wildlife and water resource values. A lot of the water that's up here actually winds up irrigating the orchard land down below us. It's a great opportunity for us to work together and meet multiple needs and multiple uses on the landscape.
This is a meadow restoration project that was done to fix some damage that was occurring in the meadow from the presence of a road and from illegal 4x4ing in the meadow. It was a joint project between Chelan County and Department of Fish and Wildlife with funding from Department of Ecology and Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. The road surface was decompacted and seeded with native grass seeds and trees and shrub species, and then covered with straw mulch to help the regeneration of the grass seeds. And now we're watching the meadow fill back in.
The Stephens Meadow restoration was made possible with further support from the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Wenatchee Sportsmen's Association, and Washington Department of Ecology. Chelan County's agriculture industry appears to be embracing a new state-sanctioned program that provides an alternative approach to protecting the environment. The county was one of two in the state that were selected to pilot the voluntary stewardship program. Commissioner Bob Boogert says it was designed as a way to return local control to the state's growth management plan.
Back 10 years or so ago, Chelan County and Thurston County were two that applied for and were selected as the pilot projects to try that out. And so there's been a very dedicated work group of growers here in the community that have been working on that, facilitated through our Department of Natural Resources. And they're at the point now where they think they have a product that will really work for people that can come up with voluntary ways to protect and enhance their farmland and to protect natural resources.
Examples of beneficial conservation practices include use of micro and ground level drip systems, integrated pest management, cover crops, mulching, and soil management, as well as installing raptor poles and bat boxes. Also installing plantings to attract pollinators and installing plastic fencing to protect orchards. Well, it appears last week's rain and winds caused only minor damage to our area's cherry crop. The harvest in the Wenatchee Valley is in full swing, and the ripened fruit is susceptible to storm damage such as splitting and bruising. Northwest Cherry Growers Group President B.J. Thurlby tells the Capital Press that some growers in the Wenatchee area held off on picking to allow fruit to dry. He said cooler temperatures helped decrease the threat of cherry splitting. This year's Northwest cherry harvest is expected to be the third largest in history. The Capital Press reports Northwest packers had shipped 7.3 million boxes of cherries. That's from June 6th through the 27th, with more than 500,000 boxes shipped a day during that period. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Kashmir was the place to be this past weekend as the city held its 41st annual Founders Day celebration. Here with more details from the weekend festivities is NCWLIFE's Kyle Montgomery.
The beautiful weather wasn't the only thing brightening up Kashmir this past weekend as the city celebrated their 41st annual Founders Day with 2 evenings of festivities. Since 1979, Kashmir has honored the members of their founding families who first settled the region with a 2-day event that puts on family-oriented activities that please community members and visitors. The weekend event featured different kinds of street vendors, music, and entertainment the first night before the Dones Valley Pharmacy ping pong ball drop began Saturday evening in Riverside Park. The citizens then lined the streets of downtown Kashmir for the hour-long Crunch Pack Grand Parade that featured numerous floats from businesses, clubs, and organizations around the Wenatchee Valley. The celebration comes from the idea of business owners and community members who decided on the 75th year of Cashmere's anniversary to evolve into what they have now known for over 40 years as Founders Day. The small town will continue to honor their founding families every year with the Founders Day celebration and grand parade and hope to add more events in the coming years. With NCWLIFE News, I'm Kyle Montgomery.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And before we get to the details of all of that, let's take a beautiful look outside our weather window up in the Waterville area. And you can see the wheat fields, the blowing in the wind up that way today. We are seeing winds about 15 to 20 miles an hour for you folks in the Waterville area. Not quite that strong here in Wenatchee, but we are still seeing some mid and high level clouds out there. But all in all, it was a nice warm late June day, or I should say late June, 1st of July today. And we are just going to warm up from here. We'll get to that in a second. But first today, as I mentioned, it was warm and it was above normal for this time of year. High temperature unofficially at Pangbourne Airport at 86 degrees. 83 is where we should be for this time of year. Right on the money for our overnight low at 58 degrees. Our record high, 101. That was set back in 1987. And our record low temperature, 48 degrees, set in 1979. Didn't pick up any new precipitation over the past couple of days. A little bit of rain yesterday and also on Saturday. Didn't amount to a whole lot, but we're still staying at 4.18 inches of precip for the year. And believe it or not, that's still about 0.2 of an inch behind where we should be for this time of year. Sunrise this morning was at 5:08 and will set tonight at 9:01. Now let's put that surface loop in motion and show you what we can expect over the next 6 days. Mostly cloudy skies tonight. I did mention later a chance for thunderstorms. I really believe that'll be late tonight around midnight and then into our overnight hours. We could see some breezy west winds too, around 10 to 20 miles an hour overnight tonight. As we move into our Tuesday, partly cloudy skies, breezy, a little bit cooler. We do have a 20% chance for more scattered showers tomorrow. You can see that most of that will stay in western Washington with a few thunderstorms up around the northeast mountains of Washington state. As we move into Wednesday then, creeping up on that 4th of July, things look nice. Partly cloudy for most of Washington. In fact, all of eastern Washington will enjoy nice sunny skies, and that will be our trend as we move through this week and into the upcoming weekend. For our Independence Day on Thursday, mostly sunny and mild. Look at all the blue sky expected around Washington state, and we will see some nice temperatures. Fireworks show at 9 o'clock on Thursday. Partly cloudy skies, mild temperatures, and at showtime, we should see temperatures mainly in the mid-70s, so not bad at all Thursday night if you do make it down to Walla Walla Park. For Friday then, as we end our work week, many of you will have the day off. I know we will here at NCWLIFE. Mostly sunny and warmer. We'll see highs on Friday creeping into the lower and mid-80s. That's what this orange and kind of reddish color indicate on our temperature map. Mostly sunny and warm Saturday too, with temperatures even creeping into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees on Saturday. And boy, the same goes for Sunday as we get into the end of the weekend with lots of sunshine and temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune forecast. Tonight, we'll drop down to a very nice low of 61 degrees. Partly cloudy for your Tuesday, a 20% chance for rain showers. Just keep your eye on the sky tomorrow, not a whole lot to worry about. Partly cloudy and mild on Wednesday and 79. Here's a fireworks show on Thursday. Mostly sunny, warm, 83 degrees. And folks, we're just going up from there. 88 with sunshine on Friday. And this weekend should be beautiful with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s and lows all weekend in the low to mid 60s. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Dan Kuntz in for Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
If you want to work in healthcare, choose the program that teaches the skills employers want. The Charter College Medical Assistant Program combines hands-on learning in the lab with convenient online learning, plus real-life experience with an externship. Classes start every 5 weeks, so you don't have to wait to launch your new career. Enroll with confidence, knowing Charter is institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, and be ready to work in less than a year. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Highlander Golf Course is proud to announce their 2 new state-of-the-art full-swing golf simulators with over 80 courses of virtual golf to choose from year-round. Or try their laser shot simulated firearm program, or gaming with football, basketball, and much more. Enjoy Highlander food and drink service from their full-service bar and grill in the comfort of their simulator room. Call the Highlander Pro Shop to book your time at 884-4653. That's 884-4653.
Being able to support yourself and your family is an important part of who we are. We all need to know we're able to provide ourselves with a secure future. Some job seekers have a harder time finding work. That's why Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is here, a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to help people find work. When you shop at or donate to Goodwill, you're really being a job creator, and that's a good thing for everyone's future. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
Happy Monday. Happy Canada Day. Dan Coons filling in for the vacationing Eric Grandstrom. We'll start out on this Monday with Apple Sox baseball. They had 2 blowout victories over Cowlitz over the weekend, 10-2 on Friday and then 10-1 on Saturday. And then, oops, they were on the other side of that coin, the wrong end of a blowout yesterday. They dropped their series finale to the Black Bears. The final was 10-5 yesterday afternoon. It looked good early on with the Sox Colden leading off the game with a home run. That was followed by Ryan Altenberger's base hit. That scored Cole McKenzie from second, and boom, first inning, Sox up 2-0. But Cowlitz answered back in the bottom of the first with 4 runs, including a 2-run double by Luke Price, one of 4 doubles on the day for the Black Bears. Both starters settled down after that. The Sox and the Black Bears trading runs in the 4th. Wenatchee crept within a run in the 5th inning on Quinn Ayers' bases-loaded base hit before Kyle Smith of Cowlitz struck out Tyler Detloff, and that ended the Apple Sox threat. The Sox did pull even in the 7th on an RBI ground out by Taylor Detloff, but Cowlitz came back with 2 runs in their half of the inning and 3 more in the 8th to salvage the finale of the 3-game series. By the way, the Sox are off today. Then they host Kelowna for the first of 3 games tomorrow night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. As far as the Mariners were concerned, Yordan Alvarez drove in 3 runs to back up 7 strong innings by Garrett Cole. Unfortunately, Alvarez and Cole play for the Astros in Houston. Defeats Seattle 6-1 to complete the 3-game sweep. The Mariners led 1-0 after J.P. Crawford homered into the bullpen in right center with 1 out in the first. George Springer drew a leadoff walk in the bottom of the inning, then a single by Jose Altuve, and a walk by Alex Bregman. That loaded the bases. Alvarez then doubled down the right field line to score 2. Houston was up 2-1, never trailed after that. There was 1 out in the 3rd when Bregman tripled to left field, and here comes Alvarez again. He pushed the lead to 3-1 when he scored Bregman on a base hit to right field. Cole, who allowed just 4 base hits after that homer to Crawford, he struck out 10, walked 1 to win his 4th straight decision. By the way, he leads the American League with 151 strikeouts this year. After consecutive 1-run wins in the 10th inning, the Astros didn't need any late dramatics in this one. They padded their lead with a 3-run 8th inning, highlighted by a 2 RBI base hit by Jake Marsnick. Mariners starter Marco Gonzalez, by the way, he allowed 6 hits and 3 runs. He walked 3 in 5 innings to snap a 4-game winning streak. He lost for the first time since June 2nd. Domingo Santana had 2 hits for the Mariners, who lost their 4th straight overall. By the way, the Mariners are 1-9 this year against the Astros. Seattle is off today. Then they open a 3-game series at home against the St. Louis Cardinals. They're going to have an opener tomorrow, so we don't know who the Mariners are going to go with. We'll find out at this time tomorrow. And by the way, one last little item to get to. The Wenatchee Valley Skyhawks won their regular season finale Friday night at the Town Toyota Center. They beat the hapless Tri-City Fire. The final was 66-34. The Skyhawks finished their regular season at 6-6. Now they wait a couple of weeks. They'll host Reno in a first-round playoff game on Sunday, June 14th. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Monday. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And finally tonight, this year, concert goers at the Gorge Amphitheater have a way of being notified if there's a safety concerning taking place at or near the popular concert venue outside George. The Grant County Sheriff's Office has set up George Alerts via its Nixle mass notification system. By signing up, people will receive text messages if there is a concern. Kyle Foreman, spokesman for the Sheriff's Office, explains what brought the new system about.
Well, this was inspired by a couple of incidents in the past. So we had a wildfire near the gorge during the Sasquatch Festival back in 2016. And we also had 2 assaults which happened during the Fish concert this past concert season of 2018. And in both of those instances, we thought that the awareness of up to 25,000 concert goers may have been enhanced by that information that we would have shared with them to let them know, that there was a wildfire nearby and that they were not at any risk because the fire was 3 miles away and moving in the opposite direction. We also could have used the mass notification system to warn concert goers during the Fish concert that assaults had happened and to try to solicit information from anyone who might have seen anything at the concert during the concert. So we also had training exercises. We conduct them every year out the gorge. We've had several out there, and one of the recommendations that came out of each one of those exercises that it would have been good to have a mass notification system in order to reach concert goers with official information rather than them relying on what could be rumor or misinformation generated on social media. So by having the availability of the gorge alerts, the concert goers can be connected with official information that will come to their phones as a text message. So they'll get official information and instructions from the people who are managing the safety of concert goers at the gorge.
And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat, poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Moving doesn't have to be back-breaking, stressful work. And I don't want you to make a move that way ever again.
Traditionally, you would rent a truck. You would load up your stuff. You would rent a storage unit. You would transport it. And finally, you would unload your stuff yourself. You don't have to lift a finger. We bring the mobile storage unit to you. We drop it off. Then one of our trusted packers can load it for you. We come pick it up and store it securely for you. We bring it back to you. No hassle, no stress.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.